If you're a regular viewer of my channel, you'll know that this is somewhat outside the realm of my regular content, but if you're not, you should probably know where this is coming from. I am by no means a mouse expert, and I'm not attempting to give an objective or scientific review here. I'm just trying to explain how the mouse felt for me in a way that can hopefully help others understand what it's like and if it'll be a good fit for them. I play a wide variety of games, but since I find mice to be most impactful in first-person shooters, that's what I focused on while testing this mouse. Games I played with it include Rainbow Six Siege, Doom 2016, Quake Champions, and Destiny 2. So this is a pretty hyped up product, considering that it's a mouse. Due to some strategic endorsements from big Twitch names and esports players, Finalmouse has managed to build up a massive fan base, and because of this, getting one of these isn't easy. They sell out quickly every time they go up, but from what I experienced while ordering this one, it's not as out of control as Yeezy's back in 2015, where the website breaks immediately. If you want one, follow their Twitter account to stay up to date, and you should be good. Moving on to my first impressions upon receiving it. The inside of the box is understandably empty. This is a no-frills, plug-and-play mouse devoid of RGB lighting and MMO buttons. All you find inside is the mouse itself and a card that explains the DPI settings. The first thing you'll notice about this mouse is the signature honeycomb design. It's responsible for both the unique look and low weight of the mouse. A possible concern here is in-hand feel, but I had no issues. At worst, you'll get used to it quickly, and at best, it might even allow your hand to breathe. The entire top of the mouse is coated in what they're calling Final Grip. This is currently exclusive to the more expensive Sunset and Phantom models. It has a nice, soft, smooth feel that my hand doesn't get stuck on, and while it's a rubber finish, I have no reason to believe that it won't be durable. This Phantom version of the Ultralight is named as such for its new cable design. From what I've read, the cord was the one issue that was consistently brought up by owners of previous models. It must have been pretty bad, because I've seen many users replace the stock cable with a paracord one. This new cord certainly doesn't look as good as those custom paracords, but it's hard to complain when it's as good as it is. In fact, I found it to be a highly noticeable improvement over the already inoffensive cord that was on my Zoe. This Phantom cable really earns its name, it's quite impressive. I hear that Finalmouse plans on bringing this new cable to the entire Ultralight lineup in the future, which is fantastic because I think the other colors look a lot better than the Phantom. Left and right click feel normal. Mouse 4 and 5 feel great and are nice and big. Scrolling is smooth and fast, you can feel the steps, but there's not much resistance. I don't use the scroll wheel in games, but if I did, I'd probably complain about it being too fast. Overall, the build quality is great. There's no flex or creaking. It feels really solid in hand despite its low weight. So far, everything checks out, but this is all surface level first impression stuff. What's it like in-game? Well, my first few hours with the mouse were frankly not great. The 3360 sensor is predictably excellent, and the mouse certainly is light, which I'll come back to later, but there were two big issues I had with the mouse from the moment I plugged it in. The first is what I believe to be a quality control issue. The top right side of my mousepad had what felt like a rough edge that was catching on my mousepad. This happened not only when I tilted the mouse to the right, but also when it was completely parallel with the pad. So here's me just keeping the mouse completely flat. It kind of catches around here. Now I'm going to do it kind of lifting up. If you would move your mouse quickly to do like a 180, you can feel this more prominently. Since it was only on the one side, I concluded that it must be a quality control issue unique to my unit. Whatever the case may be, it was annoying to listen to and could be felt while using the mouse normally. You'll notice that I used the past tense when describing this defect, and that's because it has become much less of an issue after a few weeks of using it, since it got worn down over time. This is something that I've never experienced on a mouse though, let alone a $90 one. I haven't seen anyone else complain about this, but it's not good, and it directly affects the feel of the mouse. The second issue for me was the size. Make no mistake, this is a large mouse. At 18 by 9 centimeters, my hands are on the larger side of average, and I have trouble using a fingertip grip with it. The problem for me is the height more than anything. Putting it next to the FK1, all other dimensions look similar, but the bulge at the highest point of the mouse and the area just below it gave my fingertip grip a lot of problems. In the weeks that I've been using it, I've adjusted to the size a little, but my hand still feels like it's biting off more than it can chew, especially when flicking the mouse downward. If you're close to my hand size, you should be okay using a palm grip, but if you use fingertip or have smaller hands, you're probably going to have issues. What's not going to give anyone issues is the weight of the mouse, which is good since that's the main selling point. According to Finalmouse, the Ultralight weighs only 67 grams. For reference, the Logitech G203 weighs around 85 grams, and the FK1 is around 87. I consider both of those to be light mice, but from the second you take the Ultralight out of the box, you know it's on another planet as far as weight is concerned. If you go back and forth between it and another mouse, the difference is night and day. On its own, it still feels very light, but it's something you'll get used to over time. Finalmouse claims that this reduced weight will allow you to aim faster and play longer without fatigue. While it might not change your life, their logic is solid enough. Less weight means less resistance, and if you're like me, you'll lower your sensitivity because of it. Flicking the mouse around feels really great with this low weight, and if you're a super low sensitivity gamer in something like CSGO, it's nothing to scoff at. So then, is this the mouse for me? I don't think so. After a few weeks of on and off use, I've decided that it's just too big for my hand size and grip style. The low weight, as great as it is just not enough to overcome those downsides for me. After long periods of using the Ultralight, I went back to the G203 and I preferred it because of the size and shape, but I was amazed at just how noticeable the increase in weight was. If the size and shape work for you, then this could be a good option, but I can't stress enough that this is a large mouse. I worry that for a significant amount of people, it's going to be too large, so keep that in mind if you're seriously considering buying one, because at $90, this isn't a small purchase. I will say that I respect Finalmouse's intentions with the Ultralight line. It does make sense that a lighter mouse would be better, especially for low-sensitivity FPS gaming, and they don't place emphasis on frivolous things like RGB or clunky drivers that don't help serious players. If they decide to make a smaller version of the Ultralight, I'd love to give it a try. If you have any questions, leave a comment and I'll try my best to help. Until next time, thanks for watching.